West Coast good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. I hope that y'all are all coming off of a wonderful weekend. We just got back from a day trip to the coast, which always revitalizes me. I'm Jen, and this is Essential Oils A to Z. We're going to start with lemon oil and make our way through the L's, the M's, one N, one O, a few P's, and one R today, ending with Roman chamomile. There are several oils that fall into that alphabetical group, including 2 exclusive oils that I just got in the mail yesterday. So I am going to try to go a little quickly through them today. I know everyone's time is precious, but the recording will be posted in Leo and Lou and on my YouTube channel as well. So if you ever need to refer back to it, that's where the information will be. I also like to start off with the disclaimer that I'm not a health professional. I'm not trying to cure or treat any disease. I'm going to share with you my personal usage of these essential oils based on the research that I've done from a few sources. The Emotions and Essential Oils book, the Modern Essentials Oil Encyclopedia, and I've also been referring to doTERRA's Essential Oils Chemistry Handbook. doTERRA released this a few months ago, and you're able to download it and print it on your own, which is why I just wrote my own title on it. But I have been referring to this a lot, just to try to get a better understanding of the chemistry, and it is my goal to be able to present, hopefully in the near future, Oils Chemistry 101. So that's something that I've got in the works. If y'all are interested, let me know. I find it fascinating, and I'm not a science person. So anyway, that's where I'm coming from. Hey Mary, thanks for joining me here. We're going to start with lemon oil today, and lemon is one of the top 10 essential oils. If you buy a doTERRA kit, it's usually included in that. Hey Mary, good morning. Because it's so easy to use. Lemon essential oil is a very concentrated version of what you would get if you took the rind off of a lemon. So if you have a cocktail where they peel the rind and put that little twist in there, that's giving you lemon essential oils. However, it takes 60 lemons to make enough to fill this little 15 milliliter bottle here. Hey Courtney, glad you could join me too. So it's super concentrated. That's the beauty of these essential oils. It's nature in a bottle. You don't need a lot. If you wanted to add a little flavor to your morning water, which is what I always do with my lemon. Sometimes I switch it up with other citrus oils, but it's a great idea to chug a glass of water every morning. So I just put a drop of lemon, just like that, just one drop. And it's going to help my organs. Hey Roxy, it's going to help my organs wake up and start doing what they need to do. It's going to help my kidneys start to do their natural flushing that they need to do, and it's getting me hydrated as well. So that's one of my favorite easy ways to use lemon. We've talked before about using oils internally. Not all oils are created equally, but doTERRA's have passed enough tests, and they are GRAS, so it's an acronym for something, which makes them safe for consumption if you can see the little nutritional fact label on the bottle. And I think all of the oils that I'm going to show you today are safe for internal use, but if you're ever unsure, just make sure that the oil you're looking at has that nutritional facts label, and if it does, you can take it internally. Lemon tastes great, so I just add it straight to my water. You can add it to any kind of cooking that you're doing, obviously, but if you're dealing with an oil that is not so flavorful, a good way to take them internally is to just put them in a veggie capsule. But we'll get to that later. All right, so lemon oil. I told y'all that I like looking at the chemistry handbook, and I was really grateful for that last night because we're talking about lemon and lime today. And these are 2 oils that are very similar chemically. What I did find out the differences are, which I think is interesting. So if you're trying to decide whether to use lemon or lime, chances are you really can't go wrong with either for whatever concern you're working on. Let's see, I'm sorry, it's 50 lemons to make that 15 milliliter by 50 lemons, not 60. Let's see, it is antiseptic and antiviral, but not antibacterial. The lime is antibacterial, and we'll talk more about lime in just a minute. So that's one of the differences in lemon. And also it has, lemon has higher quantities of limonene than lime. So everything that limonene does for the body, being a powerful cleanser and an uplifter, lemon's got a little bit more of it than lime. So those are two of the differences. Since we're talking about both of them now, I'll go ahead and give my little photosensitive PSA. All citrus oils are photosensitive, so that means that they'll cause a reaction to your skin in the sun. If you're using citrus oils and going into the sun, you need to stick them where the sun don't shine. They will react, so be careful with them there. All right, some more ways that you can use lemons. It's a really powerful cleanser, as I just said, and all the citrus oils are also helpful mood elevators. One of my favorite ways to use lemon, aside from my water in the morning, is for cleaning. Because it's so inexpensive, this bottle is only $10, so it's a very affordable oil to get started with. It's really good at removing early stains. Hey, Darlene, good to see you. And even stains that have been around for a while. We have a wooden cutting board that came with our apartment, and we made beets, and when we chopped the beets naturally stained the wood, as they're wont to do. And so after I washed it, I took it out and just laid it on the counter and kept putting a few drops of lemon oil, and the stains have eventually lifted, which is amazing. So lemon is a really wonderful cleaning oil, and again, at $10 a bottle, that's like pennies a drop. So it's a lot cheaper than even some store-bought cleansers. It's also good at treating tarnishes. Anything that's starting to tarnish, lemon oil can be good for that. And emotionally, it's the oil of focus. So it helps with concentration. And what I was reading from Emotions and Essential Oils is that this could be a really good oil for kids in school, because as they say in here, I'm going to read from the book, it says, lemon clears self-judgments such as I'm dumb or I'm not a good student. It calms fears and insecurities while restoring confidence in the self. So I love that that's an easy tool that as a mama I have at my disposal when Flynn starts to go to school. And any of you other parents out there, lemon would be a great oil in a little blend for your children as they're starting their new school year. Helps them stay focused naturally and confident in the work that they're doing and what they're learning. So that's lemon. We're going to jump over lemongrass to finish talking about lime, since they're so connected. Like lemon, lime is safe for internal use. It's photosensitive. It is highly antibacterial. So lemon is not going to offer you those properties where lime will. It's also antiseptic and antiviral. And I like to use lime when I'm having the beginning symptoms of any kind of like immune suppression. Oh, the cutting boards. Yeah, it's really started to work. I had to keep putting the drops, and rubbing them in, but the stains have naturally lifted, and I don't know how else to get stains out of wood. So lime is my choice for the Floom, Floom, which is my main, like when I'm starting to feel kind of under energized and run down with a seasonal threat. Frankincense, lime, Melaleuca, On Guard, and oregano in a veggie capsule a few times a day. This is my choice. You can also use lemon because of its antiviral properties also. Lime is a really good purifier. It purifies the air and surfaces, so you can use it for cleaning and on your skin. So if you were doing like a really nice what's happening? I just got to pop up. Sorry if I think my connection was wavering. Anyway, lime is a really good skin cleanser as well as surface and air cleanser. And emotionally, it's the oil of zest for life. It cleanses the heart, and it can help you if you've overly developed your intellect, but not developed your emotions and your heart as much. That's lime. Very similar to lemon, just antibacterial and less limonene and terpenes as lemon. So they're very similar. Actually, their Latin names are citrus lemon and citrus aurantifolio, so they're both very closely related. Now we're going to move back to lemongrass. Lemongrass is an oil that, I love the scent of it, that we first got because Michael had read that it was really a powerful anti-inflammatory, and so that's why he likes to use it for his recovery after his athletic training and things like that. Lemongrass also has high quantities of geraniol, which is a natural insect repellent, so this would be a good oil for that. And it comes from a steam distillation of the leaves of the grass. If you've ever seen the lemongrass plant, it's just shoots of tall green grass. It's purifying and toning for the skin, and it's an overall tonic for the body and a helpful digestive aid. So traditionally used in a lot of Asian cooking. If you think about the food that we eat actually nourishing us, not only just like filling the hunger void. I know my friend Casey just did a series on looking at food labels, so it's kind of been in my brain to think about this. But if you think about the food that you're eating, not only filling that hunger space in your tummy, but actually nourishing your body and replenishing what's lost and supporting you on a different level, lemongrass is a wonderful food / oil to use, because not only does it flavor your food, but it helps you digest it well. It overall tones the inside of your body, and it promotes a positive outlook. It is a muscle soother because of its anti-inflammatory properties, and it's also a natural vasodilator. And according to Michael, my nurse husband, what that basically means is that it lowers your blood pressure, because if your veins are tight and constricted, the pressure in them gets really high. So it opens up your venal system, so your blood pressure, it can remain low and steady and flow through your body. So that's what lemongrass does. This is another really affordable oil. I think it's like $13. Emotionally, it's the oil for cleansing. So if you're entering a healing or a cleansing state, this is a really good oil for you spiritually. It helps you let go of what no longer is serving you. So this is also another good oil for women to use during their menses. That's basically your body getting rid of what it doesn't need anymore. So this would be a good emotional support, and it is safe for internal also. That's lemongrass. So excited about the next oil. You following along in your brain? We're in the L's. And now we're going to talk about Litsea. Not sure how to say it, but I'm really pumped about it. This oil came to me for free yesterday. And if you want more information on that, you'll have to watch my unboxing tomorrow. I'll do a Facebook Live and show you everything else I got in my box. This oil is not sold in the US. If you want it, I'll tell you how to get it tomorrow. Litsea is native to East Asia, and the Taiwanese have used it traditionally in their medicine for a long time. It affects the cardiovascular, immune, nervous, and respiratory system. Specifically in the respiratory functions, it helps break up congestions, and it helps cleanse toxins from the home and body. It's fresh, citrusy, and sweet. It smells a little like lemongrass to me. It's also a really powerful antioxidant, and when I was doing research on it, even though this oil itself is not able to be purchased in the US on its own yet, it has recently been added to the DDR Prime formula, which is a really amazing blend that doTERRA offers, and you can find this in the men's Amavi aftershave lotion kit. Again, because it's emotionally positive, and it helps, cleanse any toxins that are remaining. Emotionally, it's the oil of manifestation. It helps you to overcome the fear that immediately follows inspiration. I thought that was really powerful. As creative beings, we all are, a lot of times we get in our own way. Once inspiration strikes, our natural reaction is to go, oh, that might be a little uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. This can help you saddle that courage and ride that idea into manifestation, which I love. Also, if you follow any kind of astrology, you may have heard that Mercury, the planet of communication, was in retrograde. And basically what that means during that time is that communications can get flubbed. But it also invites us a chance to kind of look inside and listen for those divine inspirations and guidance. So if you have been listening while Mercury was retrograde, it just went back direct. Now's the time to act on those. And I think it's really serendipitous that the Litsea shows up right when that happens. Anyway, I'm really excited about this oil. Can't wait to start using it. It is safe for internal usage. And next, another one that I'm really pumped about, the Manuka. The Litsea and the Manuka came together as the promo this month for free, and you cannot buy them in the US. Manuka is available in the New Zealand and Australian market. It actually does grow and get harvested. I love how it's reflecting off the gold. It actually does come from New Zealand, where it naturally grows. Gotta love doTERRA's co-impact sourcing. And it's very similar to Melaleuca, which actually comes from Australia. We're going to talk about Melaleuca in just a few. We'll talk about Melaleuca next. We'll just jump over Marjoram. That's okay. So you may have heard about Manuka honey. Is that Keith? Hey, Keith. You may have heard about Manuka honey. And Manuka honey is basically the bees feasting on the Manuka bush, where this oil comes from, then turning around and making honey from that. And why it's such a big deal, I did a little bit of research, and what I found from WebMD is that hydrogen peroxide is produced by, I'm reading from my notes, hydrogen peroxide is produced by honey, and that's what gives honey its antibiotic quality. So everybody knows, like, it's good to take a little bit of honey every day, especially local honey. But some types of honey, like Manuka honey, have other components with antibacterial qualities, so it makes it even more powerful. And then, you know, this is the plant it's coming from. We don't even need the bees for this one. We do need the bees, but not for this one. So because it's highly antibacterial and because it comes from a flowering bush, remember all flowers are good for the skin. So this is a fabulous oil for anything skin. Any stings, any minor irritation, any wounds, because it's antibacterial too. This would be a good oil for the for a boo-boo blend. It can even help heal scars. It's also antifungal, antihistaminic. It's an natural antihistamine, basically. It's naturally anti-inflammatory and anti-dandruff. You can use it as a deodorant, again, because it's basically getting rid of bacteria, which makes you not smell so good, and a natural relaxant. It also supports the immune system, especially against seasonal threats, because of its natural antihistamine properties. And the Maori people of New Zealand have used this for a long time. I guess the bush is plentiful there, and they were wise enough to notice all of its amazing properties. The scent of it is, now in here it's diluted. It does smell kind of deep and rich, and there's a little bit of a spice. I just smell it. It smells like earth to me. It's really soft. It's not intense at all. Emotionally, Manuka is the oil of being upheld. It helps bind up wounds both physically and spiritually. It helps soothe troubled hearts and nurture the soul and facilitate a connection between heaven and earth. Again, so if you're using it in conjunction with the Litsea after getting all your divine intervention, you'll be good to go. That's Litsea and Manuka. Tomorrow on Facebook Live, I'm going to unbox my monthly LRP order, and I'll tell you how I got those for free and how you can do that as well. Time's not up for that. All right. Marjoram. Did we miss anything? No. Oh, we were going to talk about Melaleuca next because it's so similar to to Manuka. Melaleuca is also known as tea tree. It comes from Australia. When I smell this, it smells very astringent, so not nearly as soft as the Manuka. But I think of Melaleuca as the great antiseptic, the great cleanser. It is a lot like eucalyptus chemically. It's in the myrtle family, and the oil comes from a steam distillation of the leaves. It affects the immune, respiratory, muscles and bones, and skin systems, so very wide variety of benefits there. It's a clarifying oil because of its alcohols. It is safe for internal use. And if you remember, this is part of the Flume, the seasonal threat, the immune system support balm that I take, frankincense, lime, On Guard, oregano, and Melaleuca. Melaleuca helps regenerate tissue and stimulate the immune system as well. And it has 12 times the antiseptic power of phenol, which was the first antiseptic created in the early 1900s in hospitals. You can use it for any skin problems. It's also good for gum disease and thrush and diarrhea. And energetically, emotionally, it's the oil of energetic boundaries. It helps you clear your energetic baggage. It helps release any codependent relationships, which I think is really important too. That's Melaleuca. Marjoram. We're kind of all over the alphabet today, but that's all right. Marjoram is a very savory. There is a sweetness to it too. Savory oil. You may be familiar with it as an herb for cooking. You can use the oil as well internally. Remember, if you're cooking with essential oils, just add them at the end when you're not adding any heat to your recipes, just to keep them intact. Marjoram is a clarifying oil, and what clarifying means is it makes things clear and removes uncertainty. So you can think about that on an emotional level. Emotionally, it's the oil of connection. It helps soften the heart and heal past wounds. It also helps you reveal any negative patterns of aloofness. That's marjoram. Again, clarifying, making things clear. It is part of the mint family, and it helps support the cardiovascular and the muscle and bone system. So I also have a recipe for a pain balm, and my pain balm is marjoram, frankincense, and copaiba, which we talked about last time. Frankincense and copaiba, and sometimes I do add lemongrass for that anti-inflammatory help as well. But marjoram is really good at soothing any kind of pain. It also helps to regulate your blood pressure. Any kind of cramps and Charlie horses, muscle aches, marjoram is a great oil for that. That's marjoram. Okay, we've got 2 more M's to do. We're moving right along. Melissa comes next. You can see I've got the little 5 milliliter bottle of Melissa. This is the only way that it's available through doTERRA. And it takes 63 pounds of lemon balm or Melissa plant, Melissa officinalis, to make this tiny little bottle. 63 pounds of plants. That's a lot. And it comes with a hefty price tag worth every cent and every drop. You can see that I'm at the end of my bottle, so I've removed the orifice reducer so I can get every single last drop out. Melissa is an oil that I take every day because it is a soothing oil, so it's reassuring and consoling. It's really helpful at supporting the nervous and the immune system, and it's also, yes, the pain balm. I don't know what I would do without the pain balm. Melissa is also really powerful at soothing headaches, which y'all know I'm prone to. It is a natural antidepressant. It's an antihistamine. It's highly antiviral, and it's a sedative and a tonic. Emotionally, it is the oil of light, so it helps you reconnect with your inner voice and heart. And when I was reading about the historical uses of it, a long time ago, people used to use Melissa to, deal with nervous disorders. So I also like to use it for my nervous disorders. I love Melissa. If you can get it, get it. It smells really lemony and kind of herby also. You can take it internally. You can also diffuse it and apply it where you need to. I never diffuse it because I wanted to use every drop inside of my body. That was the most potent way for me to use it. And I can't wait to get some more. When I do my unboxing, I'll tell you how I'm going to get Melissa for free. Yeah. All right. Myrrh. Oh goodness, I forgot my myrrh bottle. It's in Flynn's room. Myrrh is the oil of Mother Earth, also known as the Queen of Oils, and I have it in Flynn's room because I use it in her diffuser every night, and she's been sleeping so much better in her own bed since I've been adding that to her diffuser blend. I do Serenity and Breathe and a few drops of myrrh. Myrrh comes from the resin of trees and shrubs. It's super thick. I even have a dropper on the top of it. It's a soothing oil because of its esters and sesquiterpenes, and it is really impactful on supporting the hormonal system. Again, I consider her a female oil, so this is an oil that I love to start incorporating into my daily use when I'm doing my menstrual cycle, the week before and during. Historically, it came to baby Jesus, with 3 wise men, if you know that story. Also, a little bit later, people used it to cure cancer, leprosy, syphilis, and herpes. So it's been a powerful oil, very valuable for a really long time. It can also help people with hyperthyroidism, any kind of cracked or chapped or inflamed skin, wrinkles. It's good for all things mouth, so you can make a mouthwash with it. It's really soothing to the gums. It is safe for internal use. All the resins are. And I wanted to read to y'all what Emotions and Essential Oils says about myrrh, the oil of Mother Earth. Through reestablishing a healthy connection to the earth and to one's own mother, myrrh rekindles trust within the soul. As the individual learns once again to live in trust, confidence in the goodness of life returns and the soul feels safe and more at home. So I love that myrrh can do that for all of us, as well as support our hormonal systems, give us healthy gums, and treat our cracked skin. It's amazing. So we're done with the M. Neroli is next. I forgot the Neroli too. Sorry, y'all still with me? I got up and my little structure fell down. Sorry about that. I want to show y'all the Neroli. Neroli is available in the 10 milliliter touch roller right now, which means it is pre-diluted, and this to me is the best perfume that you could ever have. It's got no toxic additives or fillers. It's just pure plant flower essence. Neroli, rolling with the punches today. Okay, Neroli is the flower of the bitter orange tree. So it's actually a citrus oil and a floral, which I love. It's one of my favorite smells, Petitgrain being another one, which also comes from that bitter orange. It's highly antibacterial. It's a natural antidepressant. It's anti-infectious, anti-parasitic, antiseptic, antispasmodic, antiviral, aphrodisiac, astringent, deodorant, digestive, and sedative. That's Neroli. It does all those things. I love it, again, around menses time. It's really good for PMS because it helps sedate you mentally, and it's also an antispasmodic, so it can help if you're with any cramping that you might be having naturally. Emotionally, it's the oil of shared purpose and partnership, and it helps calm troubled hearts in relationship conflicts. So, a good oil for emotional support if you're in a relationship right now, too. Sorry about all the tumbling. I think we're safe now. Okay, so that's Neroli. I just have one in. O is for oregano. Oregano is one of the hottest, spiciest oils that we have. It's very potent, especially if you're going to use it in cooking. You really only need a very small drop. I would stick a toothpick down in that center hole because it's super concentrated and it's already very spicy. My PSA with the hot oils is to always dilute if you're going to use them topically. Diluting does not take away the power of the oil. It just allows a slower absorption into your skin, and with any kind of hot oil like oregano, it's necessary because otherwise your skin is going to have like a tingly reaction to it. It is a restoring oil, also known as Joy of the Mountains. If you saw my little story graphic, that's why I have the rainbow coming over the mountain. It's known as the Joy of the Mountains. It supports the immune and the respiratory systems. It's very highly antifungal, antibacterial, and antiviral, bacterial, fungal. So this is, if you're having a cold, this isn't the oil for you. It's one of the top 10 oils too, very readily available, not terribly expensive. If you can take the taste, put it in a little dollop of honey and swallow it when you're starting to feel those cold symptoms. Otherwise, I add it to a veggie capsule. In that flume recipe, the frankincense, lime, oregano, on guard, and melaleuca. Once again, emotionally, on guard is the oil of humility and non-attachment. It helps dispel materialism and get over the need to always be right. So I guess there's humility in coming down with you know, a cold like that. So maybe that's nature's way of getting us to slow down and recognize that you don't need all the stuff that you think you do, and you don't always need to be right either. So rest and revitalize. That's oregano. I have a few pea oils, 3 to be exact. I've got patchouli, peppermint, and petitgrain. So we're going to talk about those 3, and then I've got Roman chamomile, and we're all done. Patchouli is an oil that I'm still learning about. When I was a little hippie girl in college, hey Tam, welcome. When I was a little hippie in college, this is one of my favorite scents. You know, all the girls were like diffusing it and wearing it. I do still love the scent of it. It's very gentle, warm and fuzzy, kind of like clary sage. It does belong to the mint family, and it's a stabilizing oil. It is safe for internal use. Patchouli is a fabulous oil for all things skin, and in protecting your skin, it's also a natural insect repellent. Remember, we talked about lemongrass being one as well. It's also a termite repellent. It helps reduce anxious feelings, and people in ancient Asia used it to fight any infections and fevers. It helps digest toxic materials in the body. Emotionally, it's the oil of physicality. So if you are one that tends to obsess over things, meaning that can lead to worry also, patchouli would be a fabulous oil for you. It also can help heal body image distortions. So if you're not feeling comfortable in your skin and you're feeling distorted in how healthy and beautiful you actually are, patchouli would be a good oil for support there. Speaking of cooling fevers, my sweetheart, I'm almost done. Speaking of cooling fevers, peppermint is a lovely and natural, easy way to do that as well. Peppermint is probably one of my favorite scents in the summertime. It's energizing, but it's also cooling, even though it's considered a warm oil, so you definitely can have possible skin sensitivity if you put this on your skin. Definitely dilute it. It does cool skin temperature naturally, and it can help relieve any kind of digestive difficulties you have. So if you're being blocked and you feel like you're not digesting well, peppermint is a wonderful oil for that. It helps headaches. It can help quell nausea. You do want to use caution with peppermint during pregnancy and nursing because copious amounts of it may decrease your milk supply. Also, if you have high blood pressure, you should use caution with peppermint. I'm not entirely sure why, but anytime I read any kind of specific warning like that, I want to pass it along. Peppermint is also supportive of the nervous, skin, and muscles and bone systems. Emotionally, it's the oil of a buoyant heart. Helps if you need a short reprieve. If you're starting to feel bogged down, this is going to be the oil that picks you back up, gets you ready to go. I have it in the diffuser this morning with some wild orange. That's one of my favorite ways to use it. And if you have the little, like a sample vial, I recommend putting some peppermint in a little bitty bottle and keeping it in your car. So the oils will eventually, it's not recommended to keep them in hot areas or sunny areas. But if you have a little bottle, it's really powerful to have on hand in the car for anybody that gets any kind of motion sickness. Also, if you're driving a long while and start to feel tired, peppermint is a wonderful natural way to wake yourself up. You can also put a little drop on your tongue or on the roof of your mouth for an instant breath freshener if you've gone out to lunch and you've got garlic breath and need to go back to work. Rather than have any candy, this is an easy, cooling way to get your breath fresh and, help things start to digest naturally. Also, again, nourishing yourself. That's peppermint. Peppermint's one of my favorites. Also a top 10 oil. Lastly, in the peas, Petitgrain. I just diffused straight Petitgrain last night because it's one of my favorite single scents. It is the bitter orange rind. So remember, the Neroli was the bitter orange flower. This is the bitter orange rind. And Petitgrain is known as man lavender because it's very relaxing and it does a lot of the things that lavender does. It's got a high linalool content, but it doesn't smell floral and powdery like lavender does. It smells citrusy and kind of herbaceous. And I spoke incorrectly. It's actually the leaves and twigs from the bitter orange. The rind would just give you bitter orange oil. So the leaves and the twigs of the bitter orange plant give you this Petitgrain, which I love. Historically, it's been used for immune system and nervous system support, also cardiovascular support, and it's a very powerful antioxidant. Emotionally, it's the oil of ancestry. It helps, I'm going to read from it again. Accept the humanness of our ancestors and seek to learn from their mistakes. It can help reveal patterns and tendencies of repeating negative habits. So it helps you with a healthy awareness of any kind of patterns that might have been going on in your family of origin, and helps you not judge them, but make different choices if that's what needs to happen. And it's one of my most favorite smells ever. Get yourself some Petitgrain. It's wonderful to diffuse any time of day, also highly relaxing to diffuse at night. I think mixing it with sandalwood would be lovely, but again, just wonderful on its own. That's Petitgrain. Last but not least, Roman chamomile. Roman chamomile, I love it. It's floral, but it's not, it's earthy. It's an earthy floral. It's not super sweet. Roman chamomile is a relative of the daisy family, and if you join me on my first session this month, it's also closely related to blue tansy, which is known as Moroccan chamomile. So this comes from a little different area, and if you saw my story, you saw that I had the Pope and the little chamomile flower. The Pope's Roman. It's a calming oil, and historically mothers have been using chamomile on their babies since the beginning of time because it is so mild. There are hardly any negative reactions to this, if any. Mothers have used it forever to do everything from calming babies just crying to easing ear aches, fighting fevers, along with that peppermint. You love daisies, darling. Me too. They're so friendly. It helps with stomach aches, toothaches, and teething. If you've got a baby that's teething, a little bit of diluted Roman chamomile and clove, again, very diluted. You can rub it on their gums or even on the outside of their jaw if you're not comfortable with that. It is safe for internal usage because it's basically the same thing that you would have if you drank chamomile tea. It's just a little bit more concentrated. It's also good at treating any kind of rashes or any kind of stings, any kind of stinging insect. Chamomile is an excellent soother, and it also helps dry skin. If you are dealing with any kind of shock to your nervous system, this is a fabulous oil. Also for any kind of insomnia, it's a wonderful sleep oil. It is in that Serenity blend, but it's fabulous to diffuse on its own, maybe with some of the Petitgrain, or even something woody like the cedarwood would be nice. Historically, it's considered the plant's physician because anytime a plant was failing to thrive, they would put chamomile next to it, and then that plant would start to grow and revitalize itself, which I think is so cool. Part of that is aromatherapy because of the aroma that comes off of the plant. And any kind of plant scents like that, when you're smelling that, that is affecting your brain. The scents that you smell affect your brain. So think about that when you smell a lot of toxic stuff. It does actually affect your brain, and that's why I'm passionate about non-toxic living and giving you some options to enjoy wonderful smells and wonderful feelings without any of the side effects. That's it for my session today. Thanks for bearing with me as my iPad fell down. Tomorrow, which one, Darlene, do you want to try? Roman chamomile? You could probably, what I did the first time was saved up my points that you get from doing the loyalty rewards program and get it for free. That's a great way to try new oils. And I'll talk more about that tomorrow when I do my unboxing. I'll show you all the Litsea and Manuka again. And next Monday is going to be my last Oils A to Z session. We're going to start with rose. I love rose, you know that. And go through ylang ylang. I won't have as many as I did today, so thanks for bearing with me. And again, the video will be up on my Leo and Lou Facebook page and on my YouTube channel as well. Happy oiling, everybody. Bye.